it's going to be must-see television.
Hell yeah.
This fall and the
Only
winter.
thing better would be Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley being teammates.
That looks like that's going to happen, doesn't it?
I mean, it's in Westbrook's best interest. But a lot of things are in Westbrook's best interest that he doesn't necessarily go with. But, it's in his best interest to not shoot threes. But, hey, here we are. If I were Russell Westbrook, but I'm also older and I'm wiser, if I were Russell Westbrook, I'd say, you know what, damn 2013, man. You did something dirty. You hurt my knee. It cost me the Thunder. But, in the here and now, this team just got a lot better. This team made the best of a bad situation. That front office had made some ill-advised personnel decisions and yet salvaged it with the perfect catch-and-shoot, 3-and-D, role-playing, tenacious irritant that it needs, right? And so if you're Russell Westbrook, your career, you're on the verge of being John Wall. Now, John Wall has since recovered and landed with the Clippers, good for him, but you're on the verge of being John Wall. So your options are we could send you home, we could trade you, or you could fully embrace setting aside this beef and playing with this guy. Now, it's not totally up to him because it's still in the organization's best interest to trade Russell Westbrook, and get younger, better role players. Because that big three, everybody need a big three. That's just a big two in LA. They need a big two and some pieces. But if you're Westbrook, I'm begging to play for Darvin Ham, stay with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I'm squashing that. I'm grilling up that beef and eating it with Patrick Beverley and trying to make the most of playing with the Lakers. Else you may get shipped to someplace like, I don't know, Indiana or something like that. No disrespect to Indiana. I just left there.
Well, I mean, I know the biggest head scratcher for me this entire offseason for the NBA was Westbrook's longtime agent breaking up with him, or they broke up together, and he sends out a statement saying, I told Russ he should stay put rather than be somebody else's salary cap saving 1 year and done acquisition. That's not his that's not what his legacy should be. He should stay put, buy whatever Darvin Ham is selling, and so I'm out, meaning Russ wants out. Like, what is that what that is? That one was, I don't recall an agent ever sending something out like that about his star player.
You know what the truth of the matter is, man? These dudes don't be knowing what they want. They're grown-ups, but they don't know what they want half the time. They don't even know. And I think the consistent pattern with a lot of these mercurial superstars is that they haven't thought these things through. They're acting emotionally. They're acting irrationally. And so many of them, and it's part of what I love about the NBA. I love that players have so much power. But when players have that much power and don't think about the long term or have pride and ego and so on and so forth, it gets emotional. If I may cross streams real quick, but I am staying in sports, I think one of the more fascinating stories, and I'm sure you've covered this extensively, maybe even today, in recent sports transactional history, is one of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL negotiating his own contract.
Yeah.
Like, that's not just unique, that's unprecedented. It's like, Rich, you ever been your own agent, Rich?
Oh, no way.
Me neither. I ain't got the time or the temperament because it don't take nothing to piss me off. So if you tell me what I'm not worth, I'm checked out, right? So if you're the Baltimore Ravens and you're negotiating with your quarterback and you're trying to, come to an agreement on a massive historic contract that he probably wants to be fully guaranteed thanks to Deshaun Watson and so on and so forth, you talk about redacted conversations, how does that conversation go? How does the organization say, yeah, man, you're great, but in the playoffs, not so much. But go on out there and deliver a championship for us because you're still our guy. We still want you. It's like that situation is just incredible because nobody does that. Imagine one of these NBA dudes we're talking about negotiating their own contract. It's just players. I think everything they say and everything they request probably has to be taken with a grain of salt, and I think we oftentimes give the ramifications of their request way more thought than, frankly, they do.